السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Is everything alright? I don't know, is everything alright or not? Let's check YouTube. Well, let's say السلام عليكم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Is everything alright? Yeah, welcome guys. Yeah, I think everything is right. Welcome, welcome. I don't know, is everything alright or not? Check YouTube. Yeah, everything is right, guys. So, I well, we just discussed about many topics, and I will just show you some very important topics. All right, and everything is right. Welcome, welcome. I don't know, is everything all right or not? All right. So let's see. Door connection. All right. So we'll just I'm just share with you I would share with you some videos instead of doing a whole video about like a specific topic. I'm gonna just do random videos about like anything. So in today's video, today's live, I will talk about some best websites, some website that helped me as a front end developer, right? That helped me like in my path, and yeah, this is it. All right. Well, the first website that I just discovered like days ago, it's one of the best website. It's not just website like that give you like a random topics or anything like that, but it gives you also whatever like whatever way you wanna enjoy, whatever way you enjoy. For example, if you enjoy listening to podcasts, if you if you enjoy listening to podcast, that website actually will help you in this. Well, the website actually is Dave, I think. Dave, let's just write Dave, and we should say search.brave. I don't know what that is. Provide new tab. Only for red box Morocco. Then I don't know if this is because of I'm streaming right now, or because I'm in a private. I know. Okay, let's just check this out. This is it, guys. Dev dot two. Why is this? Okay, all right. this is it, guys. You just need to log in, and as you see here in this navigation bar, you will see all what you need. If you enjoy listening, if you enjoy podcasts, let's see some podcasts right here. Like anything, guys, anything. Foreign shops, sponsors, software. Well, so latest podcast, and all these podcasts is are actually about programming. Yeah. So for example, this one talks about WordPress, as you see, community in a post-weather world. Quick recaps in my last solo episode. Les vacances du projet, whatever. This is French JetBrains and remote development with Martin, blah 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 blah. Let's search for like React.js. Alright. Let's search for React.js, the best and the most used library in the world. Well, let's here choose podcasts and here you go. Well. Let's see, catching an application framework. What is this? React.js podcast. Da, 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 da. I think this all those website talks about React, right? Delete your component, whatever this is. Yeah, on React with da 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 da, learning GraphQL. Yeah, well, you just have to search, but I don't actually do this by searching. I would just I actually just go here. If you actually logged in, you will actually it will actually suggest you to choose what language you want and what is your interest, and then you will appear in your home page right here. For example, podcast. Let's just test some of podcasts. I think this one is actually famous. The new wave of front-end developer tools on their way. Let's say that it's 9 November 9. All right. You just have to click here, initializing, and you will enjoy your podcast. I think you can upload it, right? Show link. I've been talking about Microsoft Azure CSS HTML Lodash, Netlify, Next, React, Preact, Ruby, static site generators, Svelte, Vanilla.js, Vue, WordPress, blah 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 blah. Changing after Vanilla.js, let's just initialize it. Please work. Ruby, static site generators, Svelte, Vanilla.js, Vue, WordPress, blah 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 blah. Changing after Vanilla.js, let's just initialize it. Please work. Alright, I think still initializing. Let's refresh the page and see if it's work again. see if it's gonna work in another tab, because I don't know actually why. Let's see. Yep, if I click, it should work now. Yep, it works. Let me see.
Welcome to the Code Newbie Podcast, where we talk to people on their coding journey in hopes of helping you on yours. I'm your host, Saran.
Let's just listen to this, guys, and then let me just switch this one to the new waves one. And yep, this one. And we will just need to resize this, right? And my channel is right here, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's just put it right here. Yeah, will be perfect. And let's just listen, guys.
I'm your host, Saran, and today we're talking about the new wave of front-end developer tools with Chris Ferdinandi, author of the Vanilla.js Pocket Guide series and creator of the Vanilla.js Academy training program.
I can remember early in my career when I was able to talk about responsive web design and concerns around mobile and best practices and usability. There were developers who were a lot more senior than me, who were a lot less versed in this sort of thing. And
let's just listen, guys.
I'm your host, Saran, and today we're talking about the new wave of front-end developer tools with Chris Ferdinandi, author of the Vanilla.js Pocket Guide series and creator of the Vanilla.js Academy training program.
I can remember early in my career when I was able to talk about responsive web design and concerns around mobile.
Yeah, I was just checking, guys.
It put me in a lot of conversations I wouldn't have been in otherwise.
Chris looks back at being on the Code Newbie podcast in 2020 and what he's learned since then. He talks about how he sees front-end development changing in the next few years, what new tools are on the rise, and why leaning into these new tools might help you in your future job search. After this.
That's actually
Traditional recruiting is over. Welcome to the Talent Cloud. Turing.com is home to the most deep and get started.
Thanks so much for being here.
Saran, thanks so much for having me on. I'm always happy to come on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Chris, give us a little background about yourself. I know we talked to you before, and I know that we talked about how you changed careers from being an HR professional to a JavaScript expert, which is really, really awesome. We had that conversation back in 2020. But I'd love for you to give just a little bit of context for people who may not have heard that episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm known on the web as the Vanilla.js guy. I didn't coin the term, but I do spend a lot of time evangelizing JavaScript using browser native kind of stuff. And I help people learn JavaScript. My whole ethos is that there's potentially a simpler, more resilient way to make things for the web than what a lot of modern best practices might look like. And so I spend a lot of my time creating courses and ebooks, running workshops. And every weekday, I send out a short newsletter with some developer tips straight to people's inboxes. You did mention the career change thing. So I actually started my career in human resources, did that for the first 5 or 8 years of my working life.
Mhm.
And then I made a career jump. So I've kind of got this really weird and unique background where I know what the hiring process looks like behind the scenes. And I've also gone through that process of just giving up on a career you were in the middle of to go do something totally different, which was really fun and wild and scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Fun, wild, and scary. Yeah, particularly the scary part.
Yeah, for sure.
So, why the focus on Vanilla.js? What does that mean to you?
guys, I think he's an interesting guy. Let's just like copy his name and search for it in LinkedIn. Let me just say just open and then I can share with you guys. Um, LinkedIn, and then let's search for him, right? Yep, I think. Yep, this is him, guys. Let's just close this. Let's say. Mm, let's just let's see. Let's say. Um, let's say his profile. View profile. Well, this is his profile. Let's just follow him, and he's an educator, I think. If I remember, he has like a school of he teaching like he's teaching like programming and all this. Well, I'm Chris Ferdinand. I help people learn vanilla JS. Is not talking here about like any JavaScript framework. It's just talking about vanilla JS. And I think guys vanilla JS is very important for beginners. When I was a beginner, and I'm still a beginner right now, I started with vanilla JS. I was like building the whole business logic or whatever you call it, the whole like things in the background. For example, a calculator. I was building it using vanilla JS, and that was very crazy, guys. Instead of using like all I don't know, instead of using like yeah, I don't know, instead of using like a JS framework like React or Vue or whatever framework, you can just use vanilla JS and achieve whatever you want. Yeah, you can say it's hard in the beginning, but you just have to try and step by step. I'm gonna share with you guys some website that there is a sample. I believe there is a simpler, more recent way to make things for the web. I'm an author of Vanilla JS Pocket Gate series, creator of Vanilla JS Academy training program. Yeah, there is an academy training program called Vanilla JS, and he's the creator of it and host of Vanilla JS podcast. My developer tips newsletter is ready for read for thousands of developer each weekday. I've taught developers and at organization like uh Chobani and the Boston Globe. And my JavaScript plugins have been used by organizations like Apple and Harvard Business School. My ideas for building a simpler, faster. That's actually cool. Well, let's say if you're working on a critical front end project that can help you reduce your risk. That's actually interesting. Reduce your risk and avoid constantly silence. Common mistake. I'm available for limit number of consulting arguments starting October. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Mm, let's say his experience. I was a JavaScript indicator owner, self-employed. Oh my god. Oh, that's too much, guys. Um, senior front-end engineer, front-end developer, constant contact, AMC, deal AMC, web designer and front-end developer, AMC learning development. Well, that's cool. That's actually cool. Have a good career, guys. Three colleagues. Did him say? It's a recommendation. Nothing given. I worked with Adrian. No, 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 no. That's actually cool, guys.
For people who may not have heard that episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm known on the web as the Vanilla JS guy. I didn't coin.
It's a recommendation. Nothing given. I worked with Adrian. No, 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 no. That's actually cool, guys. Well, let's just finish our. Yeah, let's change this to this one. What is it? Yeah, this. Let's change it.
So the focus on Vanilla JS kind of happened by accident. I originally came into JavaScript development via jQuery, which was the way to do JavaScript on the web at the time. But I kept failing the JavaScript portion of front end developer interviews, and I felt like I didn't know what I was talking about most of the time. I had huge imposter syndrome.
Was talking about jQuery. I think I worked also with jQuery when I was studying, and it was cool actually. Yeah, and like bootstrap. I think 3 or 4. They used they used jQuery, and it's cool in that days. But now, like most framework or of actually of company, they do not they don't use it anymore. Why? I think it's a heavy library. I don't know actually why, but let's search for that. Okay, let's search for that. This is it. All right. Let's see. jQuery. Why not using jQuery? Well, it's not straightforward. Thanks for jQuery developers. Can multiply with the effort today. All browsers do Jackson for the same select instance most matching. In many ways, thanks for jQuery itself is not longer good. Well, it says here DOM manipulation was not straightforward. Thanks to jQuery developers can manipulate with a little F4. Today, all browsers in use today supports document jQuery query selector, which accepts a CSS selector and returns a list of matching nodes in many ways. Thanks to jQuery itself is now longer needed. Yeah, that's actually why they made jQuery, because I think we wasn't able to do like DOM manipulation using vanilla JS, and then they actually invent or they create jQuery, so we can achieve that. And then after the JavaScript has been improved, they actually they added many things like the manipulation. You can query selector, you can select using your CSS selector, your class, whatever things you want, ID. So can select, you can select a node like many items or one item using query selector, query selector, or get element by ID. Yeah, like many things. Get, I think get element by tag name, like many things. So there is no need to use jQuery right now. Um, let's see why jQuery is not used now. It's saying jQuery is useful, but what killed what killed it was its widespread use. Vanilla JavaScript kept updating. Mhm. Updating so that things that made jQuery especially become things that you found in JavaScript without jQuery. That's what I said. So JavaScript has been improved. So you won't need jQuery like installing a library, calling a set in to actually selecting an element. But actually there is the same thing that jQuery do. It exists in actually in a JavaScript itself, vanilla JavaScript right now. jQuery is the card. The jQuery is the intuitive. That's actually cool. Let's continue, guys. Well, let's go back here. Yeah.
And so I decided I wanted to learn how a lot of it worked under the hood so that I could be more confident going into those interviews. And along the way, I discovered that as I was converting a lot of stuff I had written in jQuery to using the stuff baked into the browser, my sites were also getting a lot more performant. Things were running faster, and it was just a better experience for the people who were potentially using the things I was making. And so that kind of really is what hooked me in the web performance angle, which was something I cared deeply about. You asked what vanilla.js means to me. For me, it generally means an absence of dependencies. So it's using the things that are built
Dependencies.
right into the browser. So browser native JavaScript methods or APIs rather than using libraries or frameworks. There's a bit of a caveat here because a lot of people think that means I write every single line of code and everything I build from scratch. I do make use of a lot of different libraries. I just tend to look for ones that aren't dependent on another library themselves. So,
Mm.
if I was looking for, like a photo gallery library, I would look for one that just stands on its own rather than having to integrate with something like React or Vue or some other type of library.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you had pretty strong opinions about vanilla JavaScript last time you were on the show a couple years ago. Do you still have those opinions now? Do you still feel that vanilla JS really benefits developers and needing to know it should be a priority? Do you still have those feelings today?
I do. I've probably mellowed a little bit with age, but a big part of my passion for vanilla JS is that, well, two things. One, if you author what you create in mostly vanilla JS, you ship a lot less code to your end user, which means they're using less bandwidth, which is particularly important when you're working in developing areas or areas where wide access to broadband is not readily available. But a lot of times, the actual process of building things is easier too, at least if you're at a certain point in your career. I know for a lot of mid level to senior engineers, tooling can make work a lot faster and easier. But for a lot of people who are earlier in their career, tooling becomes a barrier to entry. And so for me, understanding kind of the fundamentals and really kind of focusing on the platform means that you can open a text editor and open a browser and just start coding. And you don't have to worry about opening up a terminal window and installing a bunch of things and running a build tool and then starting up a server. And like, just, you can throw all that away and just start working.
That's actually wonderful, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will just make a videos like this, like if I have time. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you wanna continue this podcast, I'm gonna leave the link. The link actually is in comments if you wanna if you wanna like say those podcasts and like listen to them. So listen to them. What I mean, that's my point. And that's actually called Novid